Okay, so here's I have to show them my rubric. There's that. And then my student ID number is 412581. Okay. Okay, so by a show of hands, that's right, I'm making you interact. How many of you have thrown a frisbee? Cool. Now, how many of you have wondered how that frisbee was made? Yeah, I didn't think so. Well, I have, and that's kind of how I am. I wonder how things are made, and a couple years ago, I got really, really into disc golf. I still am, and I love the intricacies of it. I love how a disc is made. I love the different types of plastics, the different shapes, the different molds, and all the ways it's created. Today, we'll get into that. Different molds, different shapes, how the disc is created, and all the things you can do with it. So today we ask a question: how is a disc made, and why is it so circular? So discs come in all shapes and sizes. There are three main types, and these are all technically three different molds. So for today's purposes, we have three different molds of disc. We have your driver, which is going to have a more sloped, longer edge. Your mid-range, which will have a much sharper, more of a, I don't know what this shape would be, but a sharper edge. And then your putter, which has almost no edge to it. It just kind of goes straight down. Now, these three shapes are important in disc golf and gauge how you take each shot in disc golf. And each of these shapes depend completely on how they're made. According to ProdigyDiscs.com, they have even more types of discs. Prodigy is a manufacturer based in, I believe, Sweden, and they have three more types of drivers. They have distance drivers, fairway drivers, and what they call a hybrid driver. Then they have your normal mid-range, then approach disc, and then putters. So multiple companies can go into multiple different realms with how they approach their disc golf manufacturing. So what are these discs made of? Well, a company called Trash Panda has an article called How to Make a Disc Golf Disc, which is pretty helpful for what I'm trying to do. So Trash Panda says there are two types of disc. You have base plastic and premium plastic. Almost all discs are made of premium plastic, which is called TPU, or thermoplastic polyurethane, which sounds like a lot, so we call it TPU. According to a company called Lubrizol, TPU bridges the gap between rubber and plastic. So as you can see from this disc I have here, it's pretty flexy. It bends a lot, it moves, whatever, but it's still very much a solid. It doesn't fall through my fingers, it's not rubber. And so, now that we know what a disc is made of, how is a disc made? This is a process called injection molding. And according to Exometry, in their article, all of the basics of plastic injection molding, they go through all of the basics and a couple more than that because it's a complicated process that even I don't completely understand. Injection molding is basically if we take our flex of our TPU, so what this is made out of, if we take a bunch of it and then melt it down, and then you basically, so this is where the injection comes from, you inject it into the mold, whether that is a mid-range, a driver, or a putter, you inject it into the mold of that, and it starts at a singular point. And if you can see this little dimple right here on a disc, this is your starting point, and it kind of morphs out into the mold. And the interesting thing about, injection molding is used in many other places. You can see it in your Tupperware. Even if you see this little dimple right here, it starts and then it fills in the mold, and this is the starting point. So that is how a disc is made. It fills in its shape and it's made like that, and that is how we get a perfect circle. So in the end, we have a disc that is made of TPU fitted to a specific mold that is created through injection molding. Now, as I've said, over the last year, I've learned so much about this and really enjoyed learning about this. And hopefully this allows you to tell a little bit more about why I enjoy this. And if not, and you think I'm a nerd, that's okay too. But hopefully that tells you a little bit about how this little circle is made and how I'm able to throw it 100 feet, which isn't good. And able to throw it and why it's circular and why it has its shape. Yeah, that's it.